Pool's blocked up.
So yeah, they locked down the pool, and everybody calls up the resident manager and blames me. Is this because of Steve? Right. The virus is my fault somehow, and they closed down the pool. So as you can see, the pool gate is locked for the condo, and the next day everyone calls up the manager and blames Steve, HVS. Of course, most of them don't know it's HVS, it's just Steve somehow. And it's like I had nothing to do with it. They don't blame the governor, they don't blame the president, not the CDC, the State Health Board, the governor's two emergency proclamations and stay-at-home lockdown order, but they want to blame HVS. So, it's like crazy. People that live in condos are so fucking stupid. I mean, how is this my fault? I mean, they don't blame China. You know, it's for not telling anybody about this virus or how bad it was. And whether you believe it's somebody ate some bat meat in a market in China and sneezed, or whether you believe it came from a level 4 bioweapons lab in Wuhan and it was set loose, let loose, or just escaped. But it's a worldwide pandemic, and people are so just self-absorbed, they don't realize like 100 million people may die from this thing, and people are upset because the pool's closed for 2 weeks. So it's just fucking crazy times. But I don't know how this is my fault that they locked down the pool. All I did was send a link with the governor's proclamation to the management company and says, how is your company going to deal with this on all the properties they manage? And I didn't even mention KBR, the condo where I live, at all. But so everybody called up the manager and wanted to know if it was my fault. So I just, I told him, well, what happens when, the stores don't have no more food and they just don't run out of toilet paper and they all call the manager and say, we don't have no food. Is this Steve's fault too? And then they all come knock on my door. Well, that wouldn't turn out well, but it's just people are so crazy. And the world is really getting crazy. I had to pull my condo that I was trying to sell off the market because there's a stay-at-home order. Nobody can actually leave their house to go look at properties. And the truth is, if somebody wants to buy a condo, they call a broker, and they take them on a tour of like 12 condos in like an hour. And that's a great way to spread a virus around. So nobody's doing tours, nobody's doing open houses. The real estate market is shut down, and even places that had sold and were in escrow are dropping out. And it's not because the buyers want out, it's because the banks are dropping out. There's all kinds of banking problems. So, but it's not my fault that the pool is closed. I had nothing to do with it. The board voted for it. I never talk to the board. Generally, if I do talk to the board, they will do the exact opposite of what I say. But it's a crazy world, and why people blame me? They don't blame China. They don't blame the governor. They don't blame the CDC, the state of Hawaii Board of Health, or nothing. And there was a really funny rant by the Board of Health person on the state of Hawaii's public YouTube channel, where they have the state health board meetings. And the state board of health person in charge of all the tests says we don't want to do any more tests of people because if we find out people are sick, that we don't have the money to provide them the services, because we have to give them all full wraparound services. You know, food, housing, shelter, toilet paper, medical care, and they said if they do more tests, it'll bankrupt the system. So they don't want to know. You know, so it's not my fault that the pool shut down. I had nothing to do with it. I didn't vote for or against it. It's probably a good idea, but nobody asked me. I had nothing to do with it. So that's how things are on the Big Island, for a situation report. And I have other stuff to say about it, but they'll have to wait for the next video. Right. So this is HVS. Thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you on the next one.